Hello, good evening. Welcome to Sports Today. Well, we've just witnessed some incredible tennis at the French Open final between world number one Novak Djokovic and Stefanos Tsitsipas of Greece. What a crazy 4 hours that was. A little over 4 hours, and the world number one Novak Djokovic has won the French Open 2021. This is his 19th Grand Slam victory, but spare a thought for young Stefanos Tsitsipas. Novak Djokovic won the final 6-7, 2-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-4. It was just exhilarating tennis. And if you're a sports fan, if you're a tennis aficionado, this was one for this was absolutely exhilarating stuff. Novak Djokovic lost the first two sets. Remember, the Stefanos Tsitsipas won the first one in a tiebreaker. He won 6-7 and 2-6. He was leading two sets to nil in what was a great start for him in the final. But Novak Djokovic is just relentless, isn't he? He doesn't let go. And he bounced back to win the third, fourth, and fifth sets. Incredible tennis. That was Djokovic won the third set 6-3. He won the fourth set 6-2. And there was some mouth-watering clash. There was a lot of fight, a lot of tension, a lot of intensity in that final set, which Djokovic won 6-4 to take the championship, the French Open championship. And remember, this is this is Novak Djokovic's 19th Grand Slam victory. This is Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal have won 20 Grand Slams each, both of them. And Djokovic is just inching close to those two legends, those two titans of world tennis. Obviously, history has been created by Novak Djokovic, right? How? Here is how. Novak Djokovic is now the first man in the Open era to win all four Grand Slams at least twice. This is, of course, his sixth French Open triumph. He was just brilliant. 34-year-old Djokovic, and he got the better of a 22-year-old Tsitsipas in a high-octane tennis match. It was complete. It was full of tension. It was nerve-wracking, this match. But Djokovic, just his skill set and his experience and his calm, to me, they just helped him take it through. Of course, there was some tension in the final set. You could see there was a lot of pressure on both players. Djokovic is also only the third man in history to win all four Grand Slams so far after Rod Laver and Roy Emerson. This was just the kind of tennis you'd want to watch on a Sunday evening, wouldn't you? Just absolute stuff, absolute masterclass. Like I mentioned before, Novak Djokovic has now moved to 19 Grand Slams. He's one short of Federer and Nadal's Grand Slam record of 20 in men's singles. That is just so phenomenal to watch Djokovic come back year after year and do what he's continuing to do. Just such a legend. This guy is such a legendary athlete. Novak Djokovic is now also the first man to win the French Open after beating Rafael Nadal in the tournament. So that's there for you. The Rafael Nadal curse has been undone in a way. He beat Rafael Nadal in an epic semi-final. Remember, that was another classic match of tennis. This was Novak Djokovic's 29th major final, and he's won 19 Grand Slams. He's won 19 out of those 29 finals. His strike rate at the finals is just something spectacular, isn't it? But spare a thought also for Stefanos Tsitsipas, who's had a terrific campaign. He's just been brilliant. Your thought would go back to that game against Alexander Zverev in the semi-final, where Tsitsipas again he survived a brutal fight back from Zverev. Tsitsipas had won the first two sets. Zverev bounced back to win the third and fourth sets before Tsitsipas held his nerves and held his own to storm into the final. Of course, Novak Djokovic in the second semi-final, he survived a hurricane in Rafael Nadal, didn't he? That match was again, you just go back to that semi-final a couple of days back, both the semi-finals, the one between Tsitsipas and Zverev, and then the one between Djokovic and Nadal, just top class stuff. We've all been speaking about that semi-final between Djokovic and Nadal, two of the greatest ever tennis players, and what an epic showdown that was, where Djokovic held his own. And just 2 days later, these two guys, Novak Djokovic and Stefanos Tsitsipas, after those high adrenaline pumped semifinals, after those high octane semifinals, you had these two guys storming back into the final and playing such high quality tennis. It was just relentless. It was relentless. Tsitsipas took the first two sets. Djokovic came back to win the next three sets to win the French Open Championship of 2021. And also credit to Tsitsipas because he just did not give up in that final set. It was a bit of a dogfight, if you would say so, between these two players. And also look at that age difference. Tsitsipas 22, Djokovic 34. But Djokovic was just relentless and tireless. That's the kind of tennis he played. Again, to take you through that scoreline, 6-7, 2-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-4 victory to Novak Djokovic. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant tennis. Now, what could have been? For Stefanos Tsitsipas if he had uh, managed to win at Roland Garros on Sunday? He would have become the first player from Greece to win a men's singles Grand Slam. He would have climbed to number three. If he'd won the title at Roland Garros on Sunday, he would have also become the youngest Grand Slams men's singles champion since Juan Martin del Porto in 2009. So that if there were some stats and records for Tsitsipas, he would have wanted to do so much, and he would have been the youngest Roland Garros men's singles champion since Rafael Nadal in 2008. That would have been something for him to look up. Well, that those numbers, I don't know whether they would have in the back of his mind, but there was so much uh, for Tsitsipas to look forward to before this final. But he should be proud of the way he played, of the way he carried himself throughout this tournament. But you'd feel for him. Now after a match like this, it's always nice to go back and look at numbers and stats and figures. He won all 20 matches. He won all 20 matches in Grand Slams, Tsitsipas, after he had won the first two sets. But only a few of those 20 victories had come against players ranked inside the top 10. And when you're taking a Novak Djokovic, nobody would take him for granted. Nobody can say that you can only become overconfident against Novak Djokovic at your own peril. But Tsitsipas was just brilliant. You have to spare a thought for the loser on this occasion. What a great final! And probably you could say that this is perhaps Djokovic's greatest Grand Slam triumph ever. Look back at this campaign throughout. Look at that epic semifinal against Rafael Nadal. It just did not look like Djokovic was tired or flustered or exhausted. He was just brilliant. He was just absolutely brilliant. We're getting a lot of comments. Sachin Chaudhary saying congratulations to Novak. The Dark Knight says Djokovic is the GOAT of tennis. Probably, you look back at the likes of Federer, you have Nadal. They're still playing. Because Nadal was just brilliant up until that semifinal. He was such a pleasure to watch as usual in that semifinal. But Djokovic, boy, he's just otherworldly right now at this point in time. And of course, Zeus is saying we're the only Indian channel covering tennis. Tennis live, great going. Thank you. This is what we keep promising you on Sports Today, right? Whether it's tennis, whether it's French Open, the Euro Championships, cricket, you have it all on Sports Today. We are the only channel which will continue to do that. And we were completely glued to Christian Eriksen's condition last night. And of course, we brought you more updates today. We will continue to do that alongside cricket. And of course, we'll build up to the Olympics, and you will see what we are trying to do as a sports platform right up through the Olympics and the IPL, the T20 World Cup, the World Test Championship final, which starts later this week on Friday between New Zealand and India. Of course, we'll get you all of that. We promise to do that. That's exactly why we are completely glued into all sorts of sports to bring you the best from the world over. Of course, from the world of cricket now, because we're talking of a little about other sports as well. New Zealand have, of course, dethroned India as the number one ICC Test ranked team after their Test series win over England. They won the second Test match, so that's something. That's the other highlight of the day. But The news of the day is Novak Djokovic has won his second French Open. Novak Djokovic has won his 19th Grand Slam title. Just brilliant. He's created history. He was relentless. He was tireless despite losing those first two sets. I'll recap that again. That I'll recap that score for you. Novak Djokovic has defeated Stefanos Tsitsipas 6-7, 2-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-4 in the final of the French Open 2021 at Roland Garros to win his 19th Grand Slam title. And I'll take you through what Djokovic has done in the course by winning this French Open title. He has become the first man in the Open era to win four Grand Slams at least twice. He's also only the third man in history to do so after Rod Laver and Roy Emerson. So he's Djokovic is just continuing to rewrite the history books. He's, of course, with his 19th Grand Slam title, he's moved to one shot of Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal's Grand Slam record of 20 in the men's singles category. Novak Djokovic is now the first man to win the French Open after beating Nadal in this tournament. So, like I keep saying, the Nadal curse has been undone by Novak Djokovic. And this was his 29th major final was Novak Djokovic's, and he won his 19th Grand Slam. So these are stats you'll get only on Sports Today. This is the kind of coverage you'll get only on Sports Today. We bring to you the best of the world of sports. This is why we promise to do. This is what we promise to do throughout. So also, I'm in fact getting some other stats as well that we've been looking up to. This is only this is the sixth time that Novak Djokovic has won from two sets down in a Grand Slam. That's of course in all Grand Slam matches, not just in finals. Like remember, he was two sets down in this final against Stefanos Tsitsipas. So that was just incredible tennis, incredible viewing. Novak Djokovic winning his second French Open title. He's won this is his 19th Grand Slam crown. This is his 19th Grand Slam title, and he's now with just one shot of Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal, who have 20 Grand Slam career wins. So that's incredible. And he's also joined the likes of Rod Laver and Roy Emerson to win all four Grand Slams at least twice. So that should be a number, that should be a record Novak Djokovic should be really, really proud of. Well, there are all in tennis, like in other sports, you have different fan following, different loyalties. You know, you could have a Djokovic fan, Federer fan, Nadal fan, Tsitsipas, Zverev. But you just have to, whoever your idol is, whoever your icon is in tennis, whoever your hero is, but you just have to go, and bow down to this man tonight, Novak Djokovic. Just incredible tennis. He's, you could possibly say this is arguably Novak Djokovic's best Grand Slam victory ever. That was just absolutely incredible. Sachin Chaudhary saying thank you Sports Today for covering all sports. Sachin, you're most welcome. This is why we are here. This is our platform. This is where we want to bring you the best of all of the world of sports, where we bring to you, where we endeavor to bring to you content from all over the world, whether it's tennis, football, cricket, Olympics. That's where we are. Rishabh Chatterjee, Radhishis, you're great. Thank you for your nice compliments. It's Sports Today. It's teamwork. That's what we believe in. It's teamwork that is helping us bring you all sports coverage at great time as well. Thank you so much for all your views. Thank you so much for your comments. Please do keep following Sports Today. Do support us. Please do subscribe to Sports Today. We as a channel, like I keep saying, we're trying to do a lot. You'll of course see several exclusive interviews that Boria has lined up for you. You've already seen a few: David Warner, Brendan McCullum, Mithali Raj. We've got them all for you. Chetan Sakaria, who's going to Sri Lanka with the Indian team for the ODIs and the T20Is. And of course, Dinesh Karthik, he'll be taking on his role as a commentator in England, where India are playing the World Test Championship final against New Zealand, starting the 18th of June. And of course, then they play a Test series against England. Rahul champion 69 saying is Novak Djokovic, the all-time great. You could say that. You could say that he's just one shot of Federer and Nadal. And when you're at that level, 19 Grand Slams, 20 Grand Slams, you can have that debate, and you can talk of Novak Djokovic's longevity. You can talk of what Roger Federer has done throughout his career. You can talk of what Rafael Nadal has done throughout his career. And look at the way that Novak Djokovic is going. He's 34. He has a few more years left in him, and he's such a such a pleasure to watch on the court. He's such a legend already. This is absolutely incredible to watch. He's Sudesh Potwani is asking how many years big three in tennis will rule. That's the beauty of the sport now. Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. Well, Djokovic is just going from strength to strength, right? He just appears and he just relentless. This man. Just look at the context today, Sudesh. Novak Djokovic is 34 years old, and Tsitsipas is an up and coming star. You'll hear a lot more of Stefanos Tsitsipas in the years to come. But he was just brilliant. He just held his own, and he believed in his own abilities and his skill set to completely to overwhelm Tsitsipas, despite the 22-year-old Greek being two sets up in the in the final. Arya Kumar are asking us, please do cover Olympic sports and sportsmen too. Of course, we do that. We've covered several athletes on sports today, apart from top cricketers from around the world. We continue to do so, and you will see what we will do in the Olympics. And of course, in the lead up to the Olympics, we're focusing on India's preparation. We'll focus on the Olympics in the tournament. You'll see a whole gamut of sports coverage on sports today. There's a lot of comments coming in about Tsitsipas and Djokovic. Rishabh Chatterjee is saying Tsitsipas is a future star. He's only 23. He's 22, 23. And he is, like I said, you will hear a lot of Tsitsipas in the years to come, Rishabh. There's absolutely no doubt. It's such an incredible talent. He's just, when you look at his age, he's such a young guy, right? He's 22 years old. Just his, it's always great to see new talent emerging in tennis and trying to establish their place in modern sports. You've when you look back at when Nadal came up the ranks, look back at where Federer came back the ranks after the generation of Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, all these legends, and then look back at Boris Becker uh, and Goran Ivanisevic, and now you had this generation of Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and of course Tsitsipas will lead the charge in the years to come in the next generation of tennis players. Rajesh, so you're doing a great thing. You're doing great things, providing news relating to sports every day. Well, we as Sports Today are doing it. This is teamwork, absolute teamwork. This is why we want to. This is what we promise to you, and this is what we will keep delivering in terms of sports, in terms of breaking news and accurate news. Of course, we will continue to do that. We will continue to do that. Boria, myself, Trisha, Ashish, Akshay, Akash, all of us, we will continue to build up Sports Today for you and bring you news from the world of sports, like we keep promising. Of course, Chinmay with his fitness content every day. We're happy to do that for you because we love sports. We love sports. That's what keeps us going, and your support and your love, of course, that is huge encouragement. So please do subscribe to the channel. Please do subscribe to Sports Today. Please spread the word. Spread the word to tell everyone we are here to bring you a lot of sports. A lot of sports. This is just the beginning. This is going to be an incredibly busy season for sports. This is just absolutely great. This is a great time for sports. This is the French Open just got over. The Euro is picking up. You've seen some great performances already. The World Test Championship final starting on the 18th of June, and of course the Olympics and then the IPL and the T20 World Cup. Well, before I wrap up, another reminder: Novak Djokovic has won his second French Open title. He's won his 19th Grand Slam title, and he beat Stefanos Tsitsipas in a 5-set thriller after being down 2 sets. That was just brilliant tennis. Novak Djokovic bounced back to win the third, fourth, and fifth sets. Tsitsipas, all credit to him for winning the first 2 sets and, of course, giving Djokovic a stiff fight in that final set. It was just brilliant viewing. Brilliant viewing if you're a tennis fan. Thank you so much for joining Sports Today. Thank you so much for joining me on the show late in the night. We'll, of course, come back with more in the morning and through the course of the day. The 14th of June, 2021. This is the update. French Open 2021. Novak Djokovic is the champion. He is now just one short of Federer and Nadal's record of 20 Grand Slam singles each. You're watching Sports Today. Do keep watching. Do subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much and have a very good night.